Hello guys, I'm Kokom from Kokom B Studio, and today we're gonna learn how to time freeze. Let's get started. For this tutorial, we're going to need a glide cam and a camera that can shoot at least 100 frames per second so we can do 4 times slow motion. But wait, we're using 7D that shoots only 60 FPS at 720p? Don't worry, we'll show you how. First, we're going to choose 720p 60 FPS for recording mode. If you don't see 60 FPS, you might want to change your video system from PAL to NTSC in your camera menu. And then, let's get a bicycle for prop so our time freeze looks really great. Add some really handsome and talented actors. And lastly, our videographer. The scene here is that there's a guy walking in a park and suddenly there are 2 guys riding a bicycle and was about to hit the other guy. And they start to freak out. The trick is very simple. We're gonna ask them to freeze and hold their posture as long as they can. And then we're gonna start to record the scene. You might want to focus on their expression to make it more dramatic. Here's the original footage. What we're going to do next is we're going to import the video to After Effects. As you can see here, our footage is somewhere around 22 seconds long. Because we are going to make it 4 times slow motion, we're going to extend our duration from our composition setting. 22 times 4 is 88 seconds. So let's put 1 minute and 28 seconds for our duration. And now we have some extra space for our footage to extend. Next, we're gonna nest this composition into a new composition by dragging it to this icon right here. And from here, we're gonna add time warp and set the speed to 25%. Punch the vector detail to 80. Because the original footage is only 720p, we can actually scale this up to 1080p without losing too much detail. But first, let's change our composition setting to 920 by 1080. We're gonna leave our frame rates as it is and click OK. And then we're gonna add detail preserving upscale effect and scale this up to 151. We are going to reduce noise to 50 and punch detail to 100 so that we don't lose too much detail during the upscale. Next, we are going to render this. And here's the final result. Time warp is an effect that enables us to do realistic slow motion. In this case, the video was shot at 60 FPS and put in a 60 FPS composition. That means for 4 times slow motion, 60 FPS will be divided by 4 and we get only 15 frames per second. What time warp does is it adds additional 45 frames per second through motion interpolation and makes the video look smoother. Awesome, right? The science behind time freeze is very simple. Here's my hand trying to freeze as I can. But still, you can see it's moving and not freezing at all. If I slow it down to 4 times, you can barely see it's moving. Let's import our final video to After Effects again. We can make it even more realistic by adding a floating object during the slow motion. Right click on our footage layer and choose Track Camera to track our camera movement. It will take some time to finish, but once it's done, it will automatically solve the camera. And we're going to start to see some tracking points on our footage. Choose one tracking point where we want to place our floating object and select Create, Null and Camera. For this project, we're going to add our own business card. We took a picture of it and cropped it in Photoshop. Import the photo to our composition. And by using Pen tool, we're going to create mask around the card. Click Command D or Ctrl D on Windows to duplicate the card. Pick the mask point using the Select tool and move it so we can see the other side of the card. Now we have two sides of the card. What we're gonna do is we're gonna enable 3D mode by checking this blank box. And using rotation tool, we're gonna flip our card. Move it behind the other one and set its parent to that card. Next, we're gonna select the null object that we created and hit P to reveal position properties. Click on the position and copy the properties by hitting Command C or Control C. Select our parent card, reveal position properties and paste it there, or hit Command V or Control V. Now the card is moving along with the null object. Tweak around the parent card using scale, position and rotation, and the other side of the card will follow. You can duplicate the card if you want to make it more realistic and dramatic. And here's the final result. Even without a high-speed camera, you can actually do super slow motion when using time warp. We did the scale up thing so that you can learn how to scale up your video even to 4K size. Cool, right? Well, that's all from us. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tutorials. Assalamualaikum.